does creation work? How is it put together? And then now, of course, the Big Bang has totally changed the way we imagine creation. And so if you come this way, you'll see the first of several works that are imagining the moment of creation. So this artist, Washington State artist, lives out in the wilderness somewhere. Here he depicts something happening, so the moment of creation there. This one, same idea, but he uses the image of raven, which is part of the Native American creation, so especially here in the Northwest. These two artists are doing digital images of creation, and they both are adapted digital images. So in this one, you see St. Francis flanked by these two lions, which are from the Chinese tradition. So that in China, those lions flank a sacred space. And so having those just in the middle of the wilderness suggests that the earth itself is the sacred space. And here, the artist has a beautiful image of northwest woods, but the burning bush inherent in that. So it's an ordinary landscape with the sacred in it. These two pieces really aren't about the Big Bang at all, but they were just too beautiful to say no to in putting together this show. This one, though, has a bit of a connection because it's all recycled materials. And if you ever play with an erector set, you will see pieces from an old erector set that are made into this little shrine. This artist is a cathedral parishioner, and it's just a beautiful icon that's actually based on two different Renaissance originals. And so it's just a beautiful, delicate piece. These two are really interesting to look at together. This one, a photo called Spark, I think this is just an amazing capture because it's an adult handing a sparkler, a little sparkler to a child, but it gives this impression of this light in the midst of darkness. And so she views it as the resurrection moment, the creation moment, that spark in darkness. This artist is part of the Jesuit community at Cathedral, and it's the same idea. He talks, because this one, Rupture, and it's about the moment when light flows into darkness or when order starts coming out of chaos. And so that one and this one are by the same artist, and they're both about kind of that moment of change where chaos gives way to something else. These ones are really interesting. They're more about the art of the act of creation for the artist. The artist actually was inspired by St. James Cathedral in painting this work, and especially the burning bush, the tabernacle. And so you really see that as these figures of holy people. They're kind of people being recreated by fire. So they're really interesting in the way they connect with this. This one is maybe the most traditional piece in the show. The image of the power of the ocean, which is actually painted in ocean shores in Washington, and just the sense of God's power expressed through creation. This one is inspired by a famous prose poem by Teilhard de Chardin. And it speaks of the evolution of creation and the evolution of love. And I think you see that in the orderly shapes of the triangles that are superimposed on the circles, so kind of the organic, and the human, the man-made, which is, of course, the same idea in the altar platform, which is designed to suggest the divine, which is the round shape, and the human, which is the square shape. So it's a meeting of earth and heaven. And I think that same sense is present there. We placed this one next to the Renaissance painting because it's a tribute, in a way, to the Renaissance. This artist studied at Gage Academy, and outside Gage Academy there's a motto on the front of the building that says, nothing is more lovable than virtue. And so he depicts the 7 virtues, the traditional virtues like temperance and fortitude and so on. And he depicts them, though, through people that he's known in his life. So each of the virtues is a portrait of somebody who's been part of his life. So he's the artist, of course, and the artist is depicted as fortitude. So what do we think of as strong? Maybe a cowboy, right? And so he's dressed as a cowboy to represent strength. And then the little boy with the anchor is hope. The anchor is a symbol of hope. The little boy is a student that the artist taught. And so it's the idea he has hope to become an artist, right? And the other figures are pretty easy to identify with the different virtues. What I like about the painting is what it says about the relationship between creating a work of art and the created world. So you can see there's a light switch there in the studio, but the light switch is off, and all the light is coming through the window and through the door, and out both of those you see a beautiful natural landscape. I don't think very many people have a studio with quite a view like that. And so the point is that the light of the artist is just coming in from God's creation. And also it suggests something you don't often think of as with contemporary artists, that art can't be created without the support of the virtues. So it's a really interesting piece. And then last of all, this one was the very last piece to be submitted, but I think in many ways it's it says everything about what this show is all about, because this artist depicts processes of creation. And so this isn't he didn't go into a mountain and paint this from life. It's just an imagined landscape where you see distant mountains, and then in the foreground kind of this bubbling up of whatever it is, lava, earth. It's kind of like a geological process that's happening right in front of you. But there's definitely a sense of the sublime, and maybe also of the sacred in the way he depicts these processes of creation. It's kind of this aspiring image. So it's really a wonderful piece. So thank you for staying, and I hope you enjoy the show. It's running on June 14th, and there's a chance to meet the artists on Friday, May 24th in the evening. You can find that on the website. And some of them are very young, and some of them are very seasoned, and so it's a really interesting piece. Thank you.
Where's the icon that's on the wall?
Oh, the ecumenical icon. That's on the icon stand. That's just here for today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out on the icon stand in the cathedral.